When I woke up, I found my girlfriend who had been dead for 10 years lying beside me. But instead of feeling any joy, I immediately broke up with her. It turns out I had suddenly gone back to before the apocalypse. In my previous life I gave everything to protect her, but when we ran out of supplies she abandoned me. After that she attached herself to a rich heir Qin Jun and continued her carefree life. However, her end was tragic as well. She was eventually traded by Qin Jun for 3 cans of soda. Meanwhile I chose to join the military. After 10 years of rigorous training, I finally became a member of the W Special Task Force. During one mission, we were unfortunately surrounded by zombies. As the rear guard, I was treated as expendable and abandoned by my teammates. But what I never expected was, while I was isolated and defenseless, the captain stabbed me in the back. He used my blood to lure the zombies to attack me, and took the chance to escape unscathed. Thinking about it fills me with rage, since the heavens gave me a second chance with memories from 10 years ago. This time I will become the king of the apocalypse. I will never let anyone trample on me again. Looking at the clock on the table, I realized that time was running out. Today marks the beginning of the apocalypse. By then 80% of the human population will turn into zombies. At the same time many apocalypse roulettes will appear around the world. And the magic items on the zombies' heads are the key to activating them. Spinning the roulette can grant food equipment, or even special potions and character skills. So this time I must seize the initiative. Out of old sentiment, I kindly warned my girlfriend to be wary of that scoundrel Qin Jun. After saying that I left without looking back. I went to a pharmacy to buy some medicine, then drove to the Ding Sheng Villas. I remember clearly, that the first apocalypse roulette appeared here. But just then, a few security guards suddenly ran over and yelled at me. This is a high-end villa area. Unauthorized personnel must leave immediately. I ignored the guards' scolding, and simply gestured for them to look at the sky. There were only 3 minutes left until the apocalypse began, and the guards looked up at the sky. They were instantly stunned by the spectacular scene above. The security guards quickly took out their phones to snap pictures and post them online. Little did they know danger was already looming nearby. Taking advantage of the chaos I swiftly left the scene. I immediately rushed to another location where a roulette would appear. But as soon as I snuck into the villa, a young woman came downstairs and demanded, "Who are you? Get out of here right now, or I'll call the police." Before she could finish speaking, the alien ship had already launched its attack on Earth. Capsule-like toxic gas bombs rained down on the surface. The capsule started releasing massive amounts of poisonous gas. Anyone who inhaled the gas immediately mutated into a ferocious zombie. In the blink of an eye, Earth had turned into a living hell. The young woman tried to step outside without realizing the danger. But as soon as she opened the door, she was terrified by a zombie lunging at her. Before the young woman could react, the zombie pounced on her, pinning her to the ground. If you don't want the young woman to be devoured, quickly leave a heart in the comments to pray for her. At the critical moment, I appeared just in time and sliced off the zombie's head. Then I skillfully extracted the magic crystal from its skull. Before the young woman could catch her breath, 2 more zombies charged at her. I immediately shielded her behind me, and swiftly eliminated the 2 zombies with ease. By this point the young woman was so frightened she collapsed onto the ground, her legs trembling. Staring at the man in front of her with overwhelming combat skills, she quickly asked, "Who are you? Why are you in my house?" Hearing this I replied in a low voice, "My name is Yi Zhongming. Don't worry, I'm not a bad person. I'm here to look for the apocalypse roulette." Then I helped the young woman up from the ground. At this moment she relaxed her guard, and introduced herself as Mu Xinfei. "Thank you for saving me just now." Hearing the name Mu Xinfei, I froze in place. I never expected her to be the legendary 9-star powerhouse. From my previous life, it seems she must have some extraordinary talent. Otherwise she couldn't have become such a dominant force in the past. At this moment Mu Xinfei nervously said, "Brother Yi, what exactly are these monsters we just encountered?" I then explained the entire situation to her in detail. Upon learning that those monsters were zombies, Mu Xinfei was shocked and horrified. She couldn't believe that the world had truly turned into an apocalypse. At that moment, a sudden flash of light came from the kitchen. Seeing this I immediately dashed toward the kitchen. Sure enough, just as I expected, an apocalypse roulette had appeared. But to my surprise, this roulette offered a chance to win a strengthening potion. It's an incredible item that can triple combat power instantly. I explained that this was called an apocalypse roulette. By inserting the magic crystals from zombies' heads into these slots, the roulette can be activated to draw rewards. At this moment Mu Xinfei curiously asked, "Is this what you were looking for? Why did it appear in my house?" "Brother Yi, how do you know all this information?" Suddenly being asked this, I wasn't sure how to answer. If I told her the truth that I was reborn, she would definitely think I was insane, so I quickly changed the subject. I'll go collect some magic crystals first, then come back and show you how to use the roulette. After saying that, I left the villa and began fighting zombies. In no time, I managed to collect 14 magic crystals, just enough for 2 spins of the roulette. I then began explaining to Mu Zinfei how to use the roulette. After inserting the magic crystals into the slots, the roulette spun rapidly. Soon the pointer stopped on the canned food slot. Seeing this result, I was struck like a bolt from the blue. Although food is incredibly valuable in the apocalypse, it's one of the worst rewards on the roulette. It seems that even in this new life, I can't escape the curse of being unlucky. But Mu Zinfei looked utterly amazed. She couldn't believe the roulette had actually produced canned food. I handed her the remaining 7 magic crystals and said, "This time you should try spinning it." This simple act helped me understand the terrifying luck of a 9-star powerhouse. Her luck was beyond belief. As if she could win the lottery jackpot every single day. She could win a car, a golden egg, or even an apartment. Even her supermarket shopping could win her a cow. For someone like me who is perpetually unlucky, it wasn't just harmless, it was downright insulting. So I decisively handed over the next spin to her. After Mu Zinfei placed the magic crystals into the slots, the roulette immediately began spinning. But when I saw what she got, I was completely dumbfounded. She had drawn an exclusion card. This card is crucial for increasing the chances of drawing important items later. It's a game-changing artifact for higher rewards. Since she clearly had incredible luck, I decided to take full advantage of it. I immediately grabbed my weapon and prepared to hunt zombies. I needed to collect more magic crystals so she could help me spin again. After I left, Mu Zinfei didn't just sit idle. With a knife in one hand and a ladle in the other, she charged into the kitchen. Judging by her stance, her cooking skills were extraordinary. In no time at all, I returned home feeling defeated. This area was remote and sparsely populated, so even after scouring the neighborhood, I only managed to collect about 20 magic crystals. I asked Mu Zinfei if there was anything to eat. After all that effort, I was starving. Even though she was internally panicking, she nervously brought out a few dishes she had carefully prepared. She quickly explained it was her first attempt, suggesting maybe you should just eat some canned food. But before she could finish, I had already started eating enthusiastically. I kept praising her cooking skills. Hearing this, Mu Zinfei's heart was stirred. She couldn't believe that something so bad tasting didn't bother me at all. Little did she know, for someone like me who survived 10 years of the apocalypse, this was a gourmet meal. After eating and drinking our fill, we got down to business. Mu Zinfei's incredible luck didn't disappoint. She managed to draw 2 critically important weapons in a row. But just as her streak was at its peak, she handed the next opportunity over to me. I quickly tried to refuse, saying I'm unlucky, so let's not waste it. But before I could finish speaking, Mu Zinfei gently lifted my hands. She softly blew on them and, with a tender look, said, "I've transferred my good luck to you." Her actions left me completely flustered, my face red and my heart racing. Encouraged by Mu Zinfei, I stepped up to the roulette once again. She then pulled out the exclusion card and asked if we should use it now. But as soon as the card touched the roulette, it vanished instantly. Just like that, a perfectly good exclusion card was wasted. Mu Zinfei hurriedly explained that it wasn't intentional. I reassured her it was fine. But inside, my heart was bleeding. I then started spinning the roulette. While it spun, I began praying fervently, hoping I wouldn't land on canned food. Soon the pointer stopped on the strengthening potion. I couldn't believe it. I actually won the jackpot this time. I turned to Mu Zinfei and said seriously, "Now I'll teach you a very important skill for the apocalypse. You must carefully remember every step of what I do." I poured the strengthening potion and heparin together, then began heating the mixed solution. The temperature had to be strictly controlled throughout the process. This method perfectly doubles a single potion into 2. These are highly sought after in the apocalypse. In the future, extras can be traded for other valuable items. But just then, a noise outside caught my attention. As the sounds grew closer, I immediately sensed trouble. Grabbing Mu Zinfei, I dashed toward the 2nd floor. Something more terrifying than zombies was approaching. If survival meant eating a bowl of cockroach meat, would you do it? This young woman didn't hesitate and prepared a bowl for soup. It was clear this was a food-scarce apocalypse. If you didn't want to starve, you had to eat these mutated cockroaches. Just moments ago, a mutated cockroach had broken into the villa. While they aren't strong individually, they're pack animals. Finding one means a swarm isn't far behind. I quickly told Mu Zinfei to hide in a room and stay silent. No matter what you hear outside, do not come out. After saying that, I took out the strengthening potion. Without hesitation, I drank it. As the immense power surged through my body, a sudden wave of pain spread throughout me. At that moment the cockroach appeared directly above me. It lunged toward me with incredible speed. But in the next second, my cold blade pierced straight through its head. At that moment I was like a ravenous tiger crashing into a flock of sheep, slashing and killing without restraint. Every monster around me fell the instant I struck them. Severed limbs and shattered bodies rained down like a torrential storm. In just a short while, hundreds of cockroaches were utterly annihilated. With a confident push I opened the door and said, "You can come out now." But before I could finish speaking, Mu Zinfei leapt into my arms. Who would have thought that the future 9-star powerhouse had such a delicate side? I assured her, "Don't worry. The danger has been completely eliminated. Also in the apocalypse tears are the least worthwhile thing." Mu Zinfei then pretended to act composed and said, "Who said I was crying? I was obviously just overwhelmed by the stench of these bugs. By the way, what should we do with all these bug corpses?" I replied, "These are valuable resources that came right to us. Would be such a waste to just dispose of them. If you turn these bugs into jerky, you'll have enough food for an entire year." In the apocalypse there are only 3 ways to get food. The first is stockpiling before the apocalypse. The second is obtaining it through the roulette. The third is hunting mutated animals. Although the taste isn't great, it's better than starving to death. After explaining how to make jerky to Mu Zinfei, I decided to set off in search of the next apocalypse roulette. Mu Zinfei looked disappointed and said, "I'll turn all these bugs into jerky, and continue making strengthening potions. But please don't leave me behind." Looking at Mu Zinfei before me, I said firmly, "Trust me, I will come back." She was once a beloved star adored by countless fans. But now she has become a humbled and devoted follower. No matter how many times I pushed her away, she always treated me like her first love. Because even a second away from me would make the zombies laugh out loud. They say kindness has no place in the apocalypse. But I can't stand seeing a woman cry or feel heartbroken. Without hesitation I fought the zombies with my life on the line. But the zombies were overwhelming in numbers, so I had to cover her retreat first. She quickly hid inside a tall building. She shouted, "Brother, let's fight," as we retreat. I then sprinted upstairs with her. After climbing over 10 floors, her stamina started to wane noticeably. But just then, a zombie suddenly grabbed her leg. I quickly lifted her up and slashed the zombie's head clean off. As I prepared to finish off this relentless horde, bright lights suddenly shone into the hallway. I turned my head, and saw what appeared to be a meteor crashing onto Earth. But as someone reborn I recognized it wasn't a meteor. It was the key to the apocalypse treasure realm. Legend has it that whoever possesses it can escape the apocalypse and reach a land of vitality and paradise. This is a treasure that everyone covets. This lifetime I must obtain it. But as I was lost in thought, a zombie suddenly lunged at my vital area. Seeing this I immediately delivered a powerful left hook. I sent it flying with one punch straight to the northeast. "Damn, you dared to attack my vital area? Looks like you think I'm just a sickly kitten, huh?" I stretched out my hand and grabbed the zombie by the throat. With a crack I twisted its neck. In a few swift moves I dealt with all the pursuing zombies. The young woman behind me was shocked. This man is incredibly strong. If only I could stay by his side forever. Just then a stern voice snapped her out of her thoughts. "If you don't want to die, stop sitting there like an idiot. The lower floors are full of zombies, so that route is impossible. We have no choice but to head to the rooftop and look for another way out." We made our way to the rooftop. Surprisingly, there were quite a few survivors up there. A blonde guy holding a baseball bat walked up to us. He demanded, "What are you here for? Why did you lead the zombies to us?" I quickly explained that we meant no harm. The lower floors are swarming with zombies, so we came up here to see if there was another way down. Hearing this, the blonde guy relaxed. He said the building to the east is really close. You could check if you can jump across to it. I immediately went to the east side to check. It was just about 5 meters away. Easy leap for someone like me. So I decided on the spot to jump across from there. But just then, the young woman suddenly grabbed onto my shirt. She pleaded desperately, "Can you not leave me behind?" Feeling a surge of compassion I said, "Fine, you carry the bag." He then tied us together with a rope. At that moment the blonde guy behind us smiled and said, "Bro, hand me the bag. You're carrying someone in that big bag. You won't make the jump." "Don't worry, I'll throw the bag over for you." I knew all too well that if I gave him the bag, it'd be like feeding a meat bun to a dog. So I firmly rejected his offer. The blonde guy, visibly angered, snapped, "Either you leave the bag, or I'll break your arm." But instead of backing down at his threat, I flashed a mischievous, sinister smile.